Hey, sports fans, Greg Medford from Medford Knife. Dean, Jennifer, right?
Yep.
Dean and Jennifer at Hellacious Blades in South Carolina. They have the very beginning of our last small batch of Praetorian ties that were sold prior to me making the announcement. You guys know how long lead times are, or have been in the past. Lead times are much shorter now. And when we announced the end of the Praetorian tie, I hadn't told anybody else in the building. There were a lot of them in play. So our very last batch of them, there are exactly 65 knives sold that are leaving, heading out of here. 4 of them are headed to Dean and Jennifer Hellacious, and they may have a few more in that 65. I honestly don't know. That's not what I'm in charge of. I'm going to show you 4 Praetorian ties today, a Praetorian T, and a Praetorian Genesis.
And none of these things will be available to order. The sculpting, the knives, nothing.
We don't sculpt anymore. We don't do this pimping anymore. And these knives are not made by us anymore. This is the tail end of our obligations to people who had given us money. And honestly, I think these are more valuable every minute that we don't make them, because they just get consumed by the marketplace. And most of the time when they sell, they disappear from the world market. These are some amazing knives. Amy, if you want to pan down.
Yep.
We've got, out of all these, S45, S35, S45, S45, and S45. 2 Vulcan, a black DLC, and then 3 Vulcan. You can see drop point Tontos, drop point, drop point, drop point. Finishes on this, I don't know, I think this is Peaks and Valleys?
Yes.
What's this one called?
Dragon scales, both of these two.
Dragon scales, and then this is Dimples or something.
Well, Jack called it moon craters, so that's what I call it.
Moon crater, okay. Stained glass and
Lightning.
Predator, or lightning. So I point these out to you guys not knowing them, because a lot of these I just kind of winged when I was by myself, and then they really got mastered, and even the team has made up some new finishes that I don't do. Different levels of finish. So this one has been black anode, and then it's been buffed off and then re-electro oxidized. You've got a color in black on here. Contrast hardware, black clip. Next up, blue and purple kind of mix of colors with flats on the sides, and a burnished or brushed clip, and high contrast finish hardware. Pretty sexy. Obviously, for those of you, I don't know how your monitors are, this is flame and purple ano. It's been buffed and ano on top, so you got a contrast of dull and shiny. And then contrast flame, high contrast hardware. We've got black ano and bronze. So this was black anode brushed off, re-bronzed by hand. Black high gloss contrast clip to go with the blade. Looks really nice. Breaker included on this, breaker back strap. This Praetorian T, I'm gonna miss this knife. Beautiful stained glass sculpting on this. Brushed in contrast hardware and clip.
I think that's black with pen flame ano. So it's kind of a two-tone.
Oh, is that? Oh, yeah, the bottom. I see
Yeah.
that. So this has been blasted, and then the tops have been buffed. So it's blasted, ano, buffed, and then oxidized. Here we've got a really kind of cool things popping on this, right? So you've got a drop point, dark with a little brooding, dark brown and brooding flame, Vulcan finish, lightning strike blasted raw titanium handles, high polish backstrap breaker, and then brushed satin flame treated clip and hardware for a lot of contrast and understated elegance. Pretty sexy. So 6 knives headed out. Hope you guys dig them. They're beautiful. They're the last of their kind. I am wrapping up the new version, the updated version of the Praetorian. I want you to imagine that you're Ferdinand Porsche and you came up with the coolest car ever, the 911 Porsche. And it's been around for 10 years or so. And everyone's like, is that all he does is the Porsche? And he says, oh, we're gonna update the Porsche. Well, it doesn't take 5 minutes to do that. It takes a lot of thinking. So do you change the size? Do you change the proportions? Do you leave the overall aesthetic and change the feel of it? And so I've done a little bit of all of that, and it's all coming together pretty nicely. I hope you guys dig it. Check out Dean and Jennifer out there at Hellacious. Their number is 800-936-3280. www.hellaciousblade.com. Hellacious.com.